their concept, and how that entrepreneurship concept was developed since
This meeting is being recorded.
Since 17th centuries, and then how the different economists term this entrepreneurship come. Then how this there are different types of entrepreneurs are there. We'll discuss different type concept, then different type of characteristics or features or qualities or traits of entrepreneurship. Then the major functions like risk bearing, innovating, decision making functions. Then you discuss about different approaches of entrepreneurship. Generally, there are three or four approaches. Then that is based on different theories like social approaches, psychological approaches, and economical approaches. Then we'll discuss about different types of entrepreneurs or different traits or qualities of entrepreneurs. Different like innovative entrepreneur, drone entrepreneur, heavy entrepreneur, according to different type of generation, like first generation entrepreneur, second generation entrepreneur. Then as for the business purpose, agricultural entrepreneur. Then you can that woman entrepreneur, rural entrepreneur. Then we'll discuss about a process of entrepreneurship. Then how that from idea generation to commercialization. Broadly, there are three type of stages for establishing any enterprises. Or suppose you want to start any entrepreneurship, then you have to first try to formulate any idea. Try to after idea, then you have to incubate the idea. Then you have to finally you have to generate ways to that idea into functions. Then lastly you have to commercialize that idea. And then different steps as per the MSME and as per the different scientists. There are different steps from first one to ideation to last one for commercialization, to contact different type of agencies, finance aspect, all aspect you have to do. Next slide. So you have know only that entrepreneur concept generally derived from the French verb or French word. That is French word. That means entrepreneur. That means to undertake something, to undertake the risks, to establish any enterprise. Yeah, to undertake, and German word entrepreneur, but generally we all most that popular word entrepreneur. That means generally this entrepreneur words generally in Frenchman they use for military expedition, but later French economist Richard Cantillon he used term entrepreneur to business. That means one person takes risk to start business and he can get some benefit through calculated risks. So according to Cantillon, entrepreneurs is a person who uses different factors of production, that man, material, machine, all type of factors of production he can use, and he gets some profit. And as counter who also give that entrepreneurs are some type of dynamic agent of change. That means entrepreneurs are a catalyst. By using different type of resources, production, one can achieve a target. Next, please.
Recording in progress.
So entrepreneurs डॉक्टर से इको हो रहा है. So concept of entrepreneurs, we can discuss in 3 points. One is risk bearing ability, another is organizing ability, another is innovation skill. Generally, if you compare with other business activities or other businessmen, this entrepreneur concept, generally we have 3 type of concept related to risk bearing. A person, entrepreneur must have some agents, he can some risk bearing ability, not high or not low risk bearing. Generally, you can say calculated risks. A person must have calculated risks to bear some certainty, to bear some uncertainty risks, so that it can be get some profit. So, but risks can be calculated certainty, but one uncertainty we cannot do climate or due to maybe some pest attack, some uncontrollable situations, factors which affect. So this entrepreneurs, they can try to bear some risks, bearing agents of production, so that he can get some profit. Then entrepreneur as an organizer, he can organize the things. Entrepreneur as an innovator, as founder, he assigned the crucial role of innovation. So most of the scientists nowadays say that innovation is the one of the important characteristics. You can say characteristics, you can say functions, you can trait, most important traits, functional qualities of an entrepreneur. He must be something new. Maybe new. He may introduce new product in the market. He may be use new production method. He may be use opening a new market. For any example, suppose we like in Maharashtra, an example. You may be used for any food processing industry. Maybe one can say like for maybe value addition product of different food products, maybe crepes, or discovery of new sources of raw material, or entrepreneur maybe try to find a new source where the raw material can be available. Then he maybe shift his place of production products. Then bringing out a new form of organization. There are different forms of organizations are there, like sole proprietorship, maybe maybe a joint venture, maybe corporateship, like that. So hence entrepreneur can be defined as a person who tries to create something new. And so how organize the person and undertake risks and handles economic uncertainty, which is involved in enterprise. There are some definitions like entrepreneurs, one which enjoy the more than average capacities, like use different factor of production, land, labor, capital, and enterprise. And Karl Marx, a scientist, he suggests entrepreneurs parasite, but generally, because in that in the situation, he said, well, deal with, he says, an entrepreneur must accept the challenge of different challenge, like I told, like different about historical risks, financial risks, uncertainty, to get something out of that, to use all the factor of all these things. So Peter, he also suggests that entrepreneurs plan for change. He respond to it. He explore the different type of opportunities, and investing is the best tool for entrepreneurs. Next, an entrepreneur is a person who specializes in taking a judgment decision about the production of different resources, as the cash resources, as I told. Next page. So these are all definition. Yeah, we can go through it. Maybe entrepreneur is a change agent because he is changing the process. Agile will need through the innovation, through the risk bearing ability, through the foresight net, through his decision making capacity, through different type of qualities, he can change the world or he can change the process. Just this is the things. There are two characters there. One is passion and creativity, and this side, another side, in the x-axis, management skill and business know-how. Suppose a person having high in creativity and innovation, but low in management skill. He has low in management skill and business knowledge. Then that person is known as inventor because he's inventing something. But a person, you can see, entrepreneur is a person who has high in the innovation and high in the creativity skill, and also he has high in the management skill and high in the business knowledge. That means entrepreneur is a person who have high creativity skill, innovation skill, management skill, and business knowledge. But the manager, the director, they have only high in the business knowledge. They have high in the management skill, but they have the lack in innovation and creativity skill. They have low in their creativity skill. They are the manager. The great majority of the population, they have both are low. Those person low in the innovation skill and low in the management skill, they are not the great majority. Next. So entrepreneurship is a one type of purposeful activity, or is one type of functions. You can say, well, an entrepreneur is a person like that. Entrepreneurship may be one type of function. Here, some differences are there. Entrepreneurship is attempt to get value through the recognition of business opportunities. Or as scholar, he define entrepreneurship as purposeful activity. An individual or a group through this undertake some undertaken to initiate, maintain, or earn profit through production and distribution of economic goods. Like that, according to Hazens, he also said that it is a mean for function of seeking investment and production. So that means entrepreneurship is one type of purpose activity, is one type of function, is one type of process. So according to Joseph concept, Skempter, entrepreneurship is essentially a creative activity. It consists of doing something and not generally done in ordinary course of business. That means entrepreneur, one who innovates. So according to McLean, he suggests that manifest theory is given, or need for achievement theory. There are two characteristics of entrepreneur. First, doing a thing in a new or better way. So through this diagram, you can say entrepreneurs is a person, or entrepreneurship is a process of action, or enterprise is an object. So the enterprise is the actor, and the entrepreneurship is the act, and the outcome of the actor and the act is called as enterprise. Maybe we'll agree enterprise, processing industry, other type of industry. So next. So the process of creation is called entrepreneurship. The process is known as entrepreneurship. Next. So these are the relations between entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are the person, while as entrepreneurship are the process. In entrepreneur are the organizer. Entrepreneurship are the organization skill, organizer, process of organizing. Entrepreneur are the innovator. However, entrepreneurship is innovation, the skill of innovation, the process of innovation. Entrepreneur are the risk bearer. Entrepreneurship is the risk bearing. Entrepreneur are the motivator, because you can motivate to do something new, to do something new product, new way, new process. You can introduce. So entrepreneurship is the motivation, and entrepreneurs are the creator. Entrepreneurship are the creation. Entrepreneur visualize the things. Entrepreneur is visualizer, but entrepreneurship is a one type of process of vision, or act of vision, or form of vision. That's entrepreneurship. Next. So entrepreneurship, one can say, well, this is one type of leader, because leading the things he can take risks. So now we can discuss about entrepreneur and intrapreneur. One entrepreneur concept there within the entrepreneurship, known as entrepreneur. Suppose within this big, and maybe Reliance or Jio companies, there are lots of entrepreneurs out there. They want to do something new within that organizations. So entrepreneur, he is independent in his operation, but intrapreneur is dependent on the entrepreneur or owner. Raising of funds, the entrepreneur, he himself raises the fund or require the organization to run their organizations or their enterprise. He himself raises the fund through the different sources. But entrepreneur, he does not raise fund, because that organizations, they can finance the things to start the other business, start the new business within that organization. Entrepreneurs bear the risks involved in the business, but entrepreneur generally does not fully bear the risks, because the main owner of the organizations, within the organizations, they are the involved in that, they can bear the risks. Then in operations, an entrepreneur operates from outside. He is the owner of the maybe owner of that organizations or enterprise. But in case of entrepreneur operates from inside that organizations, or entrepreneurs convert the ideas into viable opportunities, or takes responsibility for creating innovation only. Right, to some add something all the things. Next. So now we can discuss about entrepreneur and manager. So as you know, entrepreneur to start a venture for its personal gratification, for personal achievement, something, for personal satisfaction, for independence. That is known as entrepreneur, that person. But manager generally render the service of enterprise. And Tata's generally entrepreneur is an owner. In case of manager, he is a servant because he is giving service to that enterprise or organizations. Risks, entrepreneurs are assume the risks and uncertainty, but generally manager does not bear any risks. He can manage all the things, all about production, function, controlling all the things. And entrepreneurs, he has get profit, but maybe that profit is not fixed. That profit is highly uncertain. Maybe zero profit is there, sometimes negative profit is there. But manager has fixed salary, which is certain and fixed salary, certain salary. In case of entrepreneur, innovation, he acts as innovator or change agent to meet the changing needs of the customer, or as per the demand. So suppose we learned since last 2 years due to COVID-19, maybe situation may be changed. So some of a business person or entrepreneur maybe change their process, maybe change their product, maybe change their form, like that. So manager simply execute the plans prepared by the entrepreneurs. And that entrepreneur's qualification, as I told you, that he has high achievement motive, that he has good creativity, he has foresight thinking, he has risk-bearing ability, innovating skill. All these are qualification of the qualities of the entrepreneur. But manager have distinct qualification, maybe MBA or ABM, or he has high in the management skill, like that. Next. So now we can discuss about wage employment, job employment, or entrepreneurship. That wage employment or the salaries or services. This is work for others. Suppose we are doing as a assistant professor, we are doing for the job for our organizations, our institutes, or university. Entrepreneurship, he has own boss. He has their own time. He can operate his own way. All these things. But wage employment generally follow the instruction of the boss or higher authority or administrator. Superior. You can follow the instruction of superior. But in case of entrepreneurship, make own plans as per their choice, as per their feasibility, as per the suitability. He can operate his own plan. Wage employment is routine job, means from 9 to 5 or daily activity there. Sundays off, other things like that, routine activity. But entrepreneurship is creative activity, something new, something innovative, something different way, out of box thinking, like that. In wage employments, its earning is fixed. That means that salary or that reward is fixed, but never negative. But in case of entrepreneurship, as I told, it can be negative, sometimes generally surplus. Generally some surplus, but maybe negative due to some on-farm situation, as I told, maybe due to COVID-19, different type of institutes in the entrepreneurship are like hotel business, all the business, or tourism business, they may maybe stop for 1 year, 2 years. So they got negative, their profit or turnover, like that. So wage employment does not create any wealth, but entrepreneurship, they can create wealth and contribute to the GDP of the nation or GDP of the state. And wage employment can choose from government service, public sector, private sector, or non-government sector, or different sectors are there. But in case of entrepreneurship, you can choose from industry, trade, or service sector, or different service sector price. So that just like agro service center, doctor, or as agricultural graduate, we can give as a agri doctor, like that. Or you can maybe establish an agri business for different type of agri business, maybe as a tool agri mushroom cultivation, maybe soil testing, different type of things. Next. So we have know about difference between manager and entrepreneur, wage employment and that entrepreneurship, then entrepreneur. Now we can know about that inventor and innovator or entrepreneur. because you cannot entrepreneur the innovator. So inventor invent new methods or new services, but entrepreneur generally combine new methods or services and employs this innovation to produce better product or services. While inventors, they are largely concerned with the technical aspect, invention of new phone or invention of new technical things, invention of new medicines or the things that maybe you can say inventor. But generally entrepreneur, he is largely concerned with the economic, social and making dimension of the subject matter by changing the economical dimension, changing the social dimension. As I told you, maybe one person maybe started business in other state, but due to loss or due to that marketing situation, some problems, political situation, can change the area. He keeps the commercial aspect. Inventor keeps the commercial perspective of innovation, the last preference. But entrepreneur generally examine the commercial and economic viability by his product. Next. So these are some questions. So an entrepreneur is the economic, as for today, as or previously, last 20 slide we have discussed about different type of concept related to entrepreneurs and different type of definitions. And then you can know about difference between manager and entrepreneur. Then you can know about entrepreneur and intrapreneur. Then you can know about innovator, and then you can know about that table, how will in entrepreneur is the high in each business skill, management skill, and also high in creativity skill. So an entrepreneur is the economic agent who unites all means of production, was told by it is JVC. A person who low management skill but high creativity and innovation, low in management skill but high in creativity and innovation is known as innovator. Sorry, inventor. But a person having high in management skill and high in creativity and innovation, known as entrepreneur. Someone working within an existing business to introduce innovation and change, that is intrapreneur. Within the existing business, introduce something new, that is called intrapreneur. Next. As you know, the word entrepreneur is derived from the French verb entreprendre, that means to undertake. And entrepreneurship is the means, the function of seeking investment and production opportunity, organizing an enterprise to undertake a new production process. Okay. That is function given. Entrepreneurship is means of dash, I think, given function. You want to have a function, you can say function, activity, process, creation. That is called entrepreneurship. An individual who initiates and creates and manages a new business can be called an entrepreneur. Innovation can be best defined as the generation of new idea, the evaluation of new idea, the opposite of creativity, the successful exploitation of new idea. So the best defined, you can say, the successful exploitation of new idea. Innovation may be the successful exploitation of new ideas. Next, please. So now we can discuss about characteristics or qualities of an entrepreneur. There are lots of characteristics are there. In most of the books, they are given like 15, 20, 30s. There are generally 6 qualities of a entrepreneur, maybe dreamer. If a person want to become an entrepreneur, he must become dream that I want to achieve something. I want to do my own way. I want to independent my things. So dreamer, he can the dreaming to achieve something or do establishing a business. Then he has innovator skill. As I told you again, innovator, risk taker, organizer. They are also concept and they are also known as great most important qualities of an entrepreneur. Then risk taker, he must have risk taking ability, as I told you again. But the risk must be calculated, not high, not low. Sometimes, but as per the situation, sometimes you can take higher risks if your enterprise is in loss, but generally calculated risks. Then he must be a committed worker. He can try to achieve his target through different using different type of prospect, like different type of factors. and he's a continuous learner. If he fail during different situation, then try to learn from his failure, and he try to next time he try to rectify his problem mistakes and try to achieve the things. Next, please. So other types of characteristics are there. As I told, need to achieve or need for achievement. So this is the one type of inner self motivate. Most of the Maitland, he tell that the entrepreneur must have higher need for achievement factor, because he tried to achieve something. He tried to achieve his goal or target, so that his dreams come true. That means success is his achievement, winning is his achievement. So need to achieve is one of the great qualities. Then independence. Most of the entrepreneurs own business, because they want their own boss. They don't want to they want to job provider, not job seeker. Then they have the risk bearing abilities. Risk bearing is the one with qualities. That means entrepreneurs, the person who can take decision under uncertainty, undertake calculated risks. Not a question we ask sometimes, different type of risks. You can say calculated risks. The risk may be calculated or medium risks. And locus of controls. That means there are two types of local that entrepreneurs does not generally, they do not influence on the that outer environment or that lock. You think that I can change my lock, I can change my fate. It's not fatalism. He think that I can he can control my own fate. If I'll do the things right way, then in committed way, in dedicated way, then I can achieve the goal, target. Next, perseverance. This is the means entrepreneur has got the ability, quality to sticking a job, decide to undertake. Perseverance means whatever the situation, that entrepreneur stick to his goal, stick to his aim, stick to his achievement. He want to achieve the things. He stick to his target. Either will that maybe situation may be change, or risks may be that time risks may be due to different type of factors, maybe climate factor, all the factors may be affect. But he try to he don't change his commitment. He don't change his target, goal, all these things. That is called perseverance. In whatever situation may be there, that's called perseverance. Next. So entrepreneurs may be a dedicated worker or commitment, like it must be commitment with his passion, that is called dedication. Next, that here the positive self concept. As I told you, entrepreneurs are always positive in their actions. Through this SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, and opportunity weakness, he can utilize his positive knowledge. He never exhibits a negative attitude. If that maybe some situation he can fail also for something, then also try to get something positive from that failure. And he's able to find and explore opportunities. Entrepreneurs are always alert to opportunities. They are very much quick to see and grab opportunity. They exhibit an innovative turn to mind and convert the problem into viable opportunity. Hope of success. Hope of success means significant quality of entrepreneurial personality. Entrepreneurs set their goal with hope of success rather than fear of failure. This is because they set their goals on the basis of facts, and they set their goals or target on the basis of their different type of factor of production or different as per their calculated risks. That's why he have hope for the best. He think that will again today or tomorrow, if I will sure achieve my success, if you will achieve my target. So, but flexibility is there. That's most of the farmers, entrepreneurs are generally they are flexible in nature. As per the demand of the situation, they can change. As I told, as per the situation, suppose due to COVID-19, maybe some of the farmer entrepreneurs, those are the progressive farmer, those are the entrepreneurs, those have started their business since last 2-3 years. They may want to change their process, maybe change their product, they change their form, like that. They want to change their form. Previously, they are only sole proprietorship. Individually, they started business, but due to some situation, they can start their joint venture. Then Analytical ability of mind. Entrepreneurs are unaffected by personal likes and dislike. The entrepreneur must have analytical ability. Then a entrepreneur must have sense of efficacy. That means entrepreneurs are always oriented towards action or something as for accomplishment of their goals. Being confident of their abilities, they find to themselves as problem solver rather than problem avoiders. That means how effectively a person can solve the problem considering different situation. He try to solve the problems. That's why one problem solving capability, decision making, problem solving. They're the function of entrepreneurs. So if entrepreneurs must have openness to feedback. Suppose the customers they think that your product is wants does not change, your product quality is not good. Then time that entrepreneurs he take it positively and try to change his product, maybe change his from the. So entrepreneurs want to learn from the experience. Successful entrepreneurs like to, as it will be like immediate period. Then, for example, like you can say different type of fruity or all this Mazhi, then change there. Previously, that bottles are there. Then now some other type of wrappers are using there. Previously, they can use 1 liter bottles. Now 150 or 150 milliliter are there like that. So another characteristic confronting certainty. Successful entrepreneurs are always optimistic. Take every odd as opportunities. Then interpersonal skill. Entrepreneurs are always comfortable while dealing with the people at all level. That means he can deal with all type of level. Maybe suppose he can control the other managers or other staffs recruit or other man's power recruited under him or her, or he can dealing with the other customers, or he can dealing with the others companies or others business entities, or he can dealing with the others WT, other organizations related to that entrepreneurship. So he can ability to need to influence other. That entrepreneurs generally he influence others. His ability. Like, for example, you can say that our Tata, Birla, Ambani, lots of entrepreneurs are there, or many entrepreneurs are there, like Ken Mozumdar, all things. They influence their things, their own ways, like that. Next, please. So again, I have given this characteristics of entrepreneurs in tabular manner, like initiative, nothing before ask for a force, then pursue opportunities, persistence or perseverance, like that. Takes a different action to overcome obstacle. Is a information gathering. Consult a different type of expert from business for technical advice. He seek information from clients or supplier needs. So these are again same. You can go through this: self-confidence, problem solving, planning. These are the other characteristics. Next. So an entrepreneur must have in self-critical abilities or okay. Now we'll discuss about entrepreneurs. Previously we discussed about different type of characteristics, like as I told, innovations, risk-bearing abilities, perseverance, decision making abilities, problem solving abilities, risk bearing ability, need for achievement. These are the different type of characteristics of an entrepreneurs. Now we discuss about function of an entrepreneurs. What the functions generally an entrepreneur can perform. Generally there are 8 functions, or lots of functions are there. One function is decision making. The primary task of an entrepreneur is to decide the policy of production. Before starting a business, try to start. He want to before he develop a startup or set a startup. He want to take decision. What type of factor of production he want to use? What type of goods he want to purchase or he want to sell? From where he can raw material he can apply. Then here the function of management. Management on the basis of production, like planning, organizing, he can plan the things in the own way, he can organize the things, he can staffing, different functions are there, management functions like planning, organizing, staffing, controlling, budgeting, coordinating, directing. These are some functions of management. So he is a function also entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneur may be a owner, maybe a manager, maybe a so a entrepreneur also functions of division of economy income. Because he have to like either in any situation, if any he give loss, then also you have to pay rent, interest, wages, or other incomes. So you have to divide the income, or you have to necessary arrangement to be different of total income out of whatever the income he get this year or next year. He have to divide the things. Then he has the function of risk taking and uncertainty bearing. There are two types of risks, as I mentioned. One is measurable and unmeasurable risks, which is you can measure, like risks of fire, loss of goods in transit or theft, which is you can insurable. So the different type of insurance company, all those things. But other type risks are, which is uncertainty, which is not cannot be calculated accurately. That is called competitive risks, technical risks. And here also function of innovation, because to make frequent innovation, maybe invention of new product, new techniques, new process, maybe discovering new markets. Suppose like in India now, like for suppose due to COVID-19, now India export to different other than new market other than China. That supply chain management concept is there. That's why Australia, Japan, and India, they are creating some new other market. So they are the new product as a tool, invention of new product, new techniques may be there, a new process may be there, or discovering new markets. Next. So these are another functions. There are generally 8 functions as I told. 8 function, or you can say this is the one type of steps. Idea generation. The first and most important function, first and foremost important function of the employee is idea generation. Because at least after decision making, at least a entrepreneur, a person, if you want to start new business or new enterprise, he must have some idea that I have to do business in this which sector or in which area. So he can, next function is determination of business. What type of business? What natures of business? Maybe he can do business in their own sole proprietorship, maybe joint venture, maybe corporatorship, maybe limited liability, different type of there. Either he want to start his own business as a single person, or as a 2 or 3 person, or multiple persons, like that. Or it can determine his business objective. Then he can now then fund or finance. Finance is one of the most important things. So that entrepreneurs try to raise the different type of funds from the different sources, maybe from the personal sources or impersonal sources, from the different banks, maybe scheduled bank, from cooperative banks, maybe different type of institutional institutions are there, financial institutions are there, from the for money, all different type of ways. He can try to raise his funds so that he can start his business or start his enterprise. Or then he can also any functions of procurement of different type of machines and material, because an enterprise must need different type of machines and materials. So the procurement of machines and material is also another function of entrepreneurs. Then he can do for market research. Either he want to go for manufacture, or maybe for processor, or maybe for seller as a business. Different way. He can go for market research for the demand of his product. As for the demand, he maybe change his product price, or he can change the size, all those things. Then he can determine different form of enterprise. As for the product, natural product, volume investment, he can go for sole proprietorship, single business, single sole proprietorship, then partnership, or maybe joint stock company, cooperative society, etc. And he also function of manpower. He can recruitment the different type of manpower. If he start this business in large business or medium business, then he can go for recruitment of different manpower, as in for manager, for supervisor, for other contractual labor, for skill labor, like that. So he also functions of recruitment of manpower. Then finally he have to During recruitment power, he may be for recruitment purpose, he can selection procedure, he may be training of the different personnel he have selected like that. Then he have also implementation project, different schedules and action plans. So generally, broadly, there are three types of function, as I told: innovation, experiencing, and organizing, and managing functions. One is innovation function, another experiencing function, another is managing function. You have to manage the different type of enterprise through different functions like planning, organizing, staffing, coordinating, like that. Next, please. So these are some questions based on these characteristics and functions. You said you know about different type of characteristics and different functions like decision making and something. So entrepreneur has got the quality of sticking to the job he decided to undertake. Yeah, that means perseverance, commitment. And whatever the situation, you have to stick with job, target. Yeah. Entrepreneurs are always oriented towards action for completion of their goal. Entrepreneurs are always oriented toward action for their goal. That is called sense of efficacy. Yeah. Then the first and foremost. Yeah.
Sir, first question का sir कौन सा है? The first question का answer.
Entrepreneur has got the quality to sticking to job he decided to undertake, that is perseverance. Commitment plus that is dedication. Sticking means perseverance.
Yes.
The next is your sense of efficacy, orientation towards his action, that is called efficacy. And the first and the most important function of an entrepreneur is idea generation. If idea is got generated, then he can go for incubation, then commercialization, then marketing, all these things. Next. So now we can discuss about different types of entrepreneurs or entrepreneurship. Lots of the economists, they are given like different classifications are there. So according to Clarence Danhoff, he classified 4 types of entrepreneurs. One is innovative entrepreneur, another is adaptive, Fabian, and Don entrepreneurs. Innovative entrepreneurs, those who are try to innovate something. As I told, they try to introduce new ideas, new technology, new process, new market, new things. That is called innovative entrepreneur. Something will suppose a person try to find new area, new markets. Like I tell India, try to finding new markets other than maybe China, other than other countries like that. Or new technology. You can use new technology. For nowadays, most of the agriculture farmers try to giving some concession or some subsidy related to drone, use of drone in agriculture subsidy, or government giving some different type of scheme related to establishment of enterprise. So another is adaptive or imitative entrepreneurs. Such entrepreneurs imitate the existing entrepreneur, set the enterprise in the same manner. Instead of innovation, may just adopt the technology and methods. Then another one is Fabian entrepreneur. Fabian means great caution and skepticism. That means he can use the new things. He want to change his business, or he want to change his enterprise. He want to try to modify some parts, not all the things, and slowly, cautiously. Or skepticism means संदेह करता है वो, थोड़ा रुक के सोच के करता है. That is called Fabian. They imitate only when it becomes perfectly clear that failure to do so result in loss of relative position. You think that if I use these techniques or if I use this new ways, then I cannot lose fully. Maybe partially I can got lost. That is called Fabian. And Don are the orthodox or conservative in outlook. Generally, they are they think that whatever their business is going, whatever enterprises they are think, they feel comfortable. They don't want to change. Just like in our some of the village, just like in some single person, a shopkeeper, he is selling all type of things in a village, like food material, food material, other day-to-day grocery material, all these things like that. That you can see that is not two entrepreneurs. Next. So according to Cole, he also suggests three types of entrepreneur. He classifies three types of entrepreneurs. One is empirical, rational, and cognitive. Yeah. Cognitive is, you can think one type of innovative. Cognitive entrepreneurs, you can say like is one type of, because you want to introduce changes. And rational is, the rational entrepreneur is well informed about the regional economic conditions. But he also want to introduce changes which look more revolutionary. And empirical, his entrepreneur hardly introduce anything revolutionary. The principal rule of thumb, you can say like empiricals are the just like maybe drone entrepreneurs. Yeah. Next. So according to types of business, there are other types of entrepreneurs are there. Business entrepreneurs who conceive an idea of a new product or service. Then industrial entrepreneurs, essentially manufacturer, and corporate entrepreneurs, essentially manufacturer who identify the potential of needs of customer and sellers. He's a product oriented. Corporate, a big, maybe you can say big entrepreneur, one type of big business entrepreneur. Then agriculture entrepreneur, those who are interested in agricultural product, agriculture like agriculture processing, food processing industry, like food industry, like pesticide industry, fertilizer industry, you can say that is agriculture entrepreneur. Technical entrepreneurs. A technical entrepreneur is essentially entrepreneur of craftsman type. That means he develop a new or improved quality goods. So technical entrepreneur just means if suppose like something new, technical new way, that is maybe you can say mobile phone, all this, that is combination with technical entrepreneur. So another classifications on the basis of ownership, that is founders or pure entrepreneurs. Here I have given examples like Dhirubhai Ambani of Reliance Group. Those are individuals who are the founders or pure entrepreneurs. They are founders of the business. Then second generation operators or entrepreneurs. They are the second generation operator of family-oriented business. That's like Reliance Industries and Reliance only Dhirubhai Ambani. That previously that Reliance group is different split into two groups. That is the examples. Franchise is derived from the French word that means free. It is a method of doing business when parents, owners, or franchise license is trademark. Here giving NEET has given franchise operation to the local players. Need one company, or maybe like suppose Google or Facebook may give license to other player, local player of India or other countries like that. Owner manager, when a person buys a business from the founder and then invest his times and resources in it, that is called owner manager. Here we like that Bhatia is founder of entrepreneurs Hotmail, whereas Microsoft Bill Gates became an owner manager after buying it for $1 million. Next, that means Hotmail was this time that started by Sabir Bhatia, but after that, and according to motivation, the different types of entrepreneurs are there. Like a pure entrepreneur is an individual which is motivated by psychological and economical rewards. And induced entrepreneur, a person can induce due to suppose a person start his business, or he want to start his business due to government subsidy, all these things. For example, after completion of BSc AG or graduation in agriculture, that NABARD and Menes help to start the business. That is, we can say, like induced entrepreneur. Or motivated entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs are motivated by their self-fulfillment. Motivate yourself. Then spontaneous entrepreneur, these entrepreneurs start their business out of their natural talent. Spontaneously, a person can start a business. Then growth entrepreneur. Growth entrepreneurs are those who necessarily take up high growth industry, and super growth, those who have shown enormous growth of the performance in their ventures. Next. There are other classification. Solo operator or sole proprietorship means single person, a person start with their own capital. Then active partners, maybe two persons, maybe jointly they can start their business, that is active partners. Inventors, just like a creative in characters of creativity, then through the inventing new products, something like that. Challenger, according to such entrepreneur, if there is no challenge in their life, there is no challenge in life. Such entrepreneurs maybe will think that will I can take a challenge to start this business. For example, previously maybe 50-30 years back, that Marwaris, Parsis and Gujaratis, they have started business in underdeveloped state like Odisha, Chhattisgarh. Most of they start their business. They think that business is like a challenge. Next. Next, please. So other classification like buyers, lifetimers. So for family enterprise, as I told you, that Tata Group, maybe Reliance Group, they are the lifetime generally. Then buyer or MDH Masala, you can think. Now most of the family business are those are the big business or big entrepreneurs. They are the big entrepreneurship in India. Enterprises are there. They can known as the family enterprises like that. Industrial entrepreneurs engage in manufacturing and selling product. That is called industrial. Service entrepreneurship like repair, consultancy, as I told, agri service center, or suppose servicing of any farm machinery or custom hiring center, they can do service entrepreneurs. Or that doctors, like that, plant doctors. Business entrepreneurs, also called trading entrepreneurs. Generally, they want for buy and sell the goods. Business. Agricultural entrepreneurs engage in different type of agriculture like horticulture, floriculture, animal husbandry, poultry, fishery, all these are. In corporate entrepreneurs, being activity under legally registered company or trust. Different. So the Companies Act 1956 or Company Act 2003. Different type of big entrepreneurs they register. And rural entrepreneurs, according to KVIC, Khadi and Village Industry Commissions, the village and rural industry means any industry located in rural area or population which do not exceed 10,000. You remember this, just that population below 10,000 in that area. If that any enterprise is there, then you can say that is for rural enterprise. And women entrepreneurs, generally the minimum financial interest or that enterprise must be controlled by or owned by women, and at least 51% of the employment generated in this enterprise to the women, or 51% of the capital by the women. Then we will say women enterprise. Based on these risks, again the same thing. Next, please. I have given innovative entrepreneurship, that is like example, same thing. So based on our technology, technical entrepreneurship and non-technical entrepreneurship, and based on the ownership, that okay, I will discuss next. Based on the gender also, as this will discuss the same thing. Sorry. And nowadays, based on the social problem, social entrepreneurship. Since last few years, that social entrepreneurship concepts are there. Maybe agriculture, agri-tourism, one type of social entrepreneurship. Or based on this farm activity, there are 4 types of agri enterprise. You can say agri entrepreneurship. One is agro-produce processing units. Those do not manufacture any new product, but merely they process the food like rice mill, pulp mill, or dal mill, recruiting mills like groundnut mills like that. Agro-produce manufacturing units, those units produce entirely new products like sugar factories, bakery, strawberry, things like that. Then agro inputs manufacturing units, like those units produce goods either to mechanizations like fertilizer manufacturing plants, insecticide production units, food processing units. These are agri inputs. Then agro service center, as I told, maybe for repairing and serving agri implements. We have the broadly classified way of agri entrepreneurship. Next. Next. So based on the size of enterprise, As per the MSME Act 2006, but since 2020, the classification also modified. There are four type of enterprise, like micro enterprise. Turnover is 5 crore. This is updated definition of since 2011. That turnover is 5 crore, and the turnover is 50 crore. But medium enterprise to 50 crore. 550 to 50, I remember. They are very much skeptical in their approach in adopting or innovating new techniques in their enterprise. Skeptical, that means Fabian. They are very much skeptical. I told you, skeptical, cautious to adopt something. That is called Fabian entrepreneurs. Don't entrepreneurs the conservative and orthodox. Don't entrepreneurs defer to the adapt to the change. No, they don't want to change. They think that whatever businesses or enterprises going, that must be continued. That should be continued. The entrepreneurs introduce changes. The entrepreneur introduce changes which looks more revolutionary. More revolutionary, that is rational. Next. A woman entrepreneur is supposed to have minimum financial interest of 51%. That I told, no, 51%. Finally, 50%. The concept of social entrepreneurs came around the 1960. That micro enterprise, that concept was also developed. Any business with a turnover up to rupees 5 crore would be the micro enterprise. Up to 50 crores. This is the previous definition. Up to 75 crores, that is medium enterprise. Here there are two columns are there, column A, column B. Women entrepreneurship on the basis of gender. Small scale entrepreneurship on the basis of size of enterprise. Corporate entrepreneurship
Types
on the
of
basis
business.
of types of business. Trading entrepreneurship,
Size up to enterprise. Size, no sir. Owners. Ownership, sir.
Owners. Corporate entrepreneurship is your ownership, because that legality, all these things are there, na?
Yes, sir.
So trading entrepreneurship is your type of business.
Yes.
Imitative entrepreneurship is risks.
Yes.
State whether the following characteristic are true or false. Bill Gates in example of innovative entrepreneur. Yeah, good. And corporate entrepreneurship is pioneered by Bergelham. Yeah, in this note is there. So, Sana Hussain is an example of women entrepreneurship, and development of small shopping complex an example of innovative entrepreneurship. All are, I think, true. All are true. Next. So now we'll discuss about different approaches. Then there for the entrepreneurship, great entrepreneur, they are saying that the social and cultural factors affect the entrepreneurship qualities or characteristics or entrepreneurship development in the society. For example, just like in Gujarat, just some in any state, some peoples are there. Generally, they are only traders. Just like Marwadis, you have know about Marwadis, that Agrawals. Most of the state, all over the India, they are doing business. Then Parsis, just like Tata, Birla, I think they are the Parsis. They are the Parsis community. Or and Gujarati also. They are the some largest groups are there. Next. So social factors generally will agree because they are generally the peoples. Those who are from the Gujarat area. They since last 500 years or during our ancient medieval history time, they are doing business. Then psychological approach. Some economists or psychologists like McClelland and Sculptor, they told that will agree, psychological aspect also will agree, it can affect our entrepreneurship development. That is, he told achievement, need for achievement. Actually, that David McClelland, he suggests will agree, need for achievement is the most important motivational factors. If a person try to achieve his goal and try to achieve his more and more, then he can be a great entrepreneur. Then Joseph Sculptor also suggests he offers fast to systematic entrepreneurship through the psychological perspective. He suggests that a person must have some innovation, creativity skill, innovative skill like that. Another approach is political approach. The government role of government, or what are the different political factor. Maybe we'll learn government taxation, law, then government policies, scheme, rule. All this affect this entrepreneurship development. The rapid growth of industries and good pace of economy. Suppose we think that if some countries have a peaceful or all type of system, all the favorable policy for entrepreneurial development, then the other country maybe try to start their business. For example, some areas maybe in different state, maybe in our Maharashtra or in Odisha, then some Naxalite areas are there. In that area, people are hesitant to start business. For example, when some countries are there, some countries, some people don't think that they want to start business. So these political factors, all these factors also affect the entrepreneurship development. Like that culture, like European country, Russia, France, political studies are there. That the late growth of entrepreneurship in Russia and France, but the Japans or America or other countries, European countries, they have highly suitable political environment. Political environment means that policies are there, laws are there, taxation environments are there, which can be favorable for the entrepreneurship development. Next. So there are some theories, which is generally for your entrepreneurship development or entrepreneurs. As I told McClelland, he suggests manifest need theory. Also, his theory also known as need for achievement theory. He suggests there are 3 types of needs. So later one, he has added one thing: need for independence, also need for achievements, need for power, need for appellation. But the need for achievement is which is synonymous with the entrepreneurial motivation. That means need for achievement is called as desire to do well, not so much for the sake of social recognition or prestige, but for the sake of inner feeling or for personal acknowledgement. A person want to satisfy that if I start the business, then most of the people, I am the own boss, all these things are there. Or maybe generally he started his business for his inner satisfaction or self-satisfaction. That is called need for achievement. Next. So another theory was their startup withdrawal theory. Huygens, he suggests entrepreneurship is function of status withdrawal. This theory provides that class which lost its previous prestige or a minority group tend to show aggressive entrepreneurial drive. That means previously they are the great, maybe they are the great, or their ancestors are the great businessmen. But now they are due to some situation, due to problem. Now they are maybe they are not so much effective. So this startup withdrawal, they want to start business, they want to show their status. There are 4 responses which assess the personality. Retreatist, that means one who combined to work in the society but remain indifferent to his work and position. He want to combine the work with society, but he want to separate, return to show his status. He want to show his status from the other person. Ritualist, one who adopt a kind of defensive behavior and act in the ways accepted and approved in the society, but with no hope for improving his position. He tried to do all these things, accepting the things, but he does not hope to improving his position. Reformatics, one who foments a rebellion. Just like reform, suppose for example, reform movement. Example, you were like our Jyotiba Phule, or Savitribai Phule. He tried to reform our society, like that. Or you can see our other entrepreneurs also. You can women entrepreneurs are there. They want to start business like Ken Majumdar or Majumdar sir. Then innovator, a creative individual who is likely to be entrepreneurs. Innovation requires creativity, and such creative individuals cause economic growth. Next. So theories of social behavior, another theory or approaches. Kunkel, he suggests behavioral model of entrepreneurship. Supply of entrepreneurs is a function of social, political, and economic structure. Which they are also limitation of structure. The society limits specific activities, and this limitation structure affect all the members. Sometimes some society, for example, most of the some in state, mainly in our state, some state, the parents prefer job as compared to any entrepreneurship or any business. People generally parents are prefer government job or salary job, like that. That's why that our student ready program during BSc 4th year student ready program, ready for rural entrepreneurship awareness and development yojana since 2017 or within committee that ready program was started. I think Narendra Modi, our prime minister, or that prime minister, or they think that entrepreneurship maybe one of the that can solve the problems of job of agricultural sector. That's why he give emphasis on entrepreneurship development. Then demand structure. These are material rewards. As per the demands, maybe you can change. Moreover, people can be made into entrepreneurial by including certain selected components. Demand structure. Maybe if some people are there, they are not getting job, but think that now demand for that product is there. That person may start their business. Opportunity structure. It consists of ability of capital management and technical skill. As I told you, if some people they want to start their business, they start what the enterprise. If the opportunities, they get good opportunities from the government sector, from the other sector, from financial aspect, they may start their business. Next. Here some of the questions are there. Dash is considered synonymous to entrepreneurial motivation. That is need for achievement. As I told you, there are 4 types of motivations in entrepreneurship. That is need for achievement, your need for power, need for affiliation, and need for independence. After that, need for achievement is considered as synonymous for entrepreneurial motivation. Also, David McClelland, also known as father of entrepreneurial motivation. Just like Richard Cantillon will known as father of entrepreneurship development or entrepreneurship. Who start entrepreneur. You use the term entrepreneurship in economics. The first to offer systematic interpretation of entrepreneurship had psychological perspective. Sumter also he started the concept of innovation. That person Sumter, he started the concept of innovation, and he used the concept of innovation in entrepreneurship development. Next, one who adopts a kind of defensive behavior and acting in the way of accepted approach society but no hope. That is ritualistic. Ritual, just like rituals, something is going on without hoping. We're doing some rituals are there. Material rewards are necessary to lay down functional structure. That is demand structure. Material word means demand structure. Next. Then last part, that is entrepreneurial process. Entrepreneurial process or entrepreneurial stage. You can say there are different steps are there or different stages are there. Or entrepreneurial process, it is defined as steps taken in order to establish a new enterprise. This is step-by-step method. In some of the economists or some book there will have 5 steps, 7 steps, broadly 3 steps. Different steps are there. According to MSME, there are 10 steps you have to establish an enterprise. So now we discuss 5-step model. That is in 5 steps. First one is preliminary steps, then decision making step, then you can go for planning step, then implementing step, then last one you have the managerial step. You have to manage all these things. Next, now we'll discuss detail. So in preliminary steps, in the initial steps, one has to follow the establishment path. That means at this step, to become an entrepreneur, you have to take decision, to make decision. What type of companies, what type of enterprise, or what type of business you have to start. Generally, you can say that entrepreneur is born at this stage. That's when preliminary stage. The entrepreneur searches for business opportunities. Other different type of opportunities. Suppose as I told, after completion of BSc AG, you want a job. You don't want to prepare for any other job long time. Some of maybe your family problem. So during that time, you will try to explore opportunity. Maybe some government schemes are there, like as I told, NABARD, Manage, or other DIC, distinct centers in every state, every districts are there, or you can go through the KVIC, so that you can get any ideas to start a business like that. So next steps is decision making step. Decision making steps can be defined as those steps. In the steps, an entrepreneur to make decision efficiently, or in the steps, an entrepreneur is seen constantly to DIC, as I told. In every district, DIC, district industrial centers are there. District industry centers are there. Industrial industry centers are there. Or you can go for MSME, some NCIS. That is National Small Industrial Centers are there. Or for agricultural development, you can contact KVK, Krishi Vigyan Kendra, or in other universities, incubation centers like in our NPK, Rahuri, or IRI. Everybody has incubation centers are there. Like that. So here, some decision requiring funds, from which you can go get fund, maybe from banks or financial institution, or how can you get permission from the MSME or from the KBIC or from the different type of permissions. Then making your preliminary project report. Then you have to decision regarding land, building, plant, machinery, different type of factors are there to list. You have to go for decision. Either you have to what type of land you want to, from where you can purchase the land, what type of building you want to build. Next. Then after preliminary steps and decision making step, you can go for planning. Planning is assumption of prediction of business. That means planning is generally how much, what I told. Planning is the most necessary steps, you can say. It provides space of review to best strategy. Some planning steps include planning for infrastructure, as I told, plant or building, getting permission requested from for environmental clearance, maybe NOC from that pollution control board. Suppose you want to start any business, or that in as I know, maybe any milk society, or maybe you want to start a dairy business or poultry business. So you have to get permission from the district pollution control board or state pollution control board. Next, in this stage, you have to prepare detailed study report. Then you have to go for implementation step, where the action taken to implement this plan so that something actual happen. There are some steps like acquisition of land. You have to purchase the land, or you have to setting up buildings, purchasing a different raw materials, then installation of plant and machinery. You have to arranging human resources, even require the human resources like that. Starting operation and production, all these things comes under implementation step. Then you have to go for electricity, water supply. Then you have to go for also making infrastructural development like road, maybe in some between how much contribute to the hospital, school, residence, for residence quarter for that your employees and for us, all come under implementation stage. Next. In managerial step, you have to manage the whole organization or your business enterprise. It is maybe preparing market policy and strategy, managing and promotion of our product and services so that you can get more profit. managing, formulating a pricing policy. Yeah, maybe you can either change your either as it learning as per the demand, as per marketing survey or as per the marketing research. You can go for pricing policy. Then managing wholesaler and retailer and deciding profit margin. Next. Same thing I have given particular graph. First step is discovery. Like you have to discover the things. Then developing a business plan. Then next step resourcing. You can use different type of resources, raw materials, available resources, financial resources. You can always have. Then you can have to manage the companies. Then lastly, you have to harvesting or implementing or commercialize the things. With the investing. Next. Same things in others also they are like first steps as I told like idea generation is the first steps, first function first also idea generation. Then you have to germination. Then you have to recognize the idea. Try to different ways you have to generate the idea. Then try to out of that idea you have generated. Out of that you have to like recognize the idea that this is the important one. I want to start this business from this idea. Then you have to prepare. You prepare your plan. You're planning the idea, to whom you have to contact. Incubation means the reality. After that, after you get all the ideas, all the things, then you have to consult any incubation centers or incubations persons are there, incubators are there. Then you go for feasibility study. Either will economic project feasibility, economic feasibility, technical feasibility, different feasibility studies are there. Either that project is or that your enterprise is feasible or not. Go for that financial feasibility, then that benefit cost ratio, all these things are there. Then you have to, if that enterprise is feasible, then you will go for the realization. Then you start your business implementation. Then go for verification. Next. Next. Same thing I have given in detailed manner, like that idea generation, different ways of idea generation. That is environmental scanning. That maybe you can throw the different type of how one can generate the ideas. Maybe one can ask his maybe friend, relatives, or maybe other senior juniors like that. When go through this idea, different ways are there for idea generation. Maybe brainstorming. Maybe they are brainstorming is another ways of generating ideas by sitting all these things. Process to open up the ideas, different type of ideas. Maybe as far as all the different alternatives maybe comes. Then focus group. So what focus group means, as I told, focus group means specific. So cotton growers, the milk providers or group milk growers of that in state, they can discuss. You can discuss that group. Then mind mapping. The mind mapping is one type of graphical techniques. That means one central idea there. Out of that, different type of sub idea maybe a common. Out of sub idea, maybe another idea is maybe there. That is called mind mapping. Interconnected ideas are there. That is given by Tony Wozan, that one of the and is given mind mapping techniques. Through this mind mapping, one can generate different type of ideas. Reverse thinking, that means first you have to think negatively. Then negatively, you can get positive ways. You can eliminate all this negative thinking, then you can get positive way. These are the different ways of generating ideas so that you can start your business. Next. Then, as I told, idea incubation, which is a process of bringing in a reality. That means idea incubation is a process of bringing ideas into reality. Because most of the persons, those who want to start business or enterprises, they don't have that much extent knowledge. So there are some incubation processes are there, or incubation services are there. That means those who are going to help with business basics, how to start business, networking sort of activities, how to contact a different type of that as I told you, for fundraising, you may contact different type of banks, maybe scheduled bank, commercial banks, or maybe cooperative banks, or maybe different financial institutions. So how to take marketing assistance. Yeah. Then you can, this is different type of services are there. High speed internet service, access to bank loans, loans fund, help with presentation skill, link to strategic partners, management of identifications, all are the others. Then the last stage, that is commercialization. It is a process or cycle of introducing a new product into the market. That means the actual launch of new product, the first stage or final stage of new product development. Yeah. That means the commercialization process includes generally when the company has to decide on the introduction of timing. Just like just like in your, you can see that for releasing in any movie, some persons may be waiting for this day, maybe Ganesh Puja, or maybe any Saraswati Puja, or maybe that any festivals like that, or any days where the company has to decide whether launch its products. Means where either will they launch in all over the India, or in specific way, in specific area, in specific state or specific area, like that. To whom the primary target consumer, or consumers are the either will specific, either will consumers are the, just for example, for food processing or any food items, that may be that food items, maybe food products, maybe for children purpose, or maybe for the old age person, or maybe for the woman purpose, or maybe for the all over, like that. Next. So, setting a small industrial enterprise, as I told you, 12 steps are there. Deciding to go to the business. Same things again I will to differently. Analyzing the strength and weakness. Then you product selection. You go for product. Then you go for market. Next. Form of owner, this as I told you, either you would go for sole proprietorship, limited company, joint venture, public-private company, like that. Or location, in which area you have to start your business, place, any unit. Then you will go for machinery and equipment, what type of machinery you have to go for. Then power connection, lastly you have to like installation of machinery. Then last one you have to recommend the manpower. Next. So this is the last slide. As for the MSME, medium, small, micro, small, medium enterprises, Act 2006, there are 10 steps you have to conduct step by step for any small business enterprise or micro. Identify, same things are there. Identify the opportunities. During opportunity, there you may be considered 4 P's like product, process, place, and partner. Product, maybe what type of shape, size, and nature. Process, technology, whatever technology you can use. And place, location of plant, in where you have to start that plant. Partner, who are the financial partner, where the technical partners are there. Then making a product choice, then process selection, same are there. Here you have to learning. Then after process selection, you may go for the arrangement for finance. Then you may go for the filling of entrepreneurs memorandum. As for the MSMED Act, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Act 2006, you go for the memorandum to register your activities. Then after that, you have to purchase your different machinery through NSIC procedure, that is national. So these are some questions. There is a graphical techniques of managing connection between various pieces of information or ideas. That is, I think, mind mapping. Mind mapping graphical techniques for different connection between various pieces of information and ideas. And the actual launch of new product is the final stage, which is known as commercialization. As I told you, generally broadly there are 3 stages. One is idea generation, idea incubation, commercialization. 3 stages are there. So the first stage, that is idea generation, is the first and foremost stage. So then you go for idea incubation, that your idea try to become reality. How can that idea become reality? That is the process of bringing idea into reality. That is idea incubation. Same thing, process of bringing idea reality is idea incubation.